Hi, welcome back to my channel According to Kat. If you are new here, please introduce yourself in the comments below. If you're returning, just say hi. And what are we going to be making today? Okay everyone, today I am bringing you 4 high-end farmhouse DIYs. They are super affordable, super easy to make, and I want to thank Cricut for sponsoring this video. If you want to learn how to make all 4 of these, make sure you stay tuned. If you'd like to know what supplies I've used, check out the description box below. And with all that being said, let's get right into the video. Starting out with DIY number 1, and to all good night sign. So the first thing I did was I took this long board that I got from Habitat for Humanity REITH store, got it for only $1. It's really dirty, but I can clean this up so easily with some just regular water, and I'm just going over and just scrubbing out any of that dirt. Now I'm taking a piece of Dollar Tree sandpaper and just roughing it up a bit. Now that I have all of that dust on there, I'm going to go back over it with that same wet rag and just wipe off any of that dust. And I just kind of waited for it to dry and then kind of went over it with a little towel just to make sure that was dry. Now I'm taking my Smart Vinyl by Cricut, and this is 20 feet long, and I love it because you can make really long signs using the Cricut Joy. And I was able to make one continuous phrase to put on my decal and then put onto my sign. So right here, the Cricut Joy is doing its work. And I love using the Smart Vinyl because you don't need any mat. All you need to do is just put that roll right inside the machine and it cuts right on top of what's there. I'm going to weed off whatever I don't need on that decal. So all the outer parts I am just ripping off. I know it's hard to see here because it's white on white, but I am now just going through with my weeder and just taking off anything between those letters. Now I'm taking my Cricut transfer tape and I'm going to lay it right on top. But before I do that, I'm just going to stick it to my table a few times just to take away some of that stickiness so it doesn't like pull up anything, or I don't know. I don't like when it's too sticky. So I'm laying it right on top and I will smooth it out. And then I'll take my little scraper and make sure I am adhering all of those letters to it. And you can see as I am pulling it up, the vinyl is coming right with it, right onto the transfer tape. And I'm going slowly. Right here, you could see some of the letters might have not come up right away, but that's okay. Just go back over with your scraper and they will come right up. You can see I'm just laying out these wooden pieces, and I'll tell you more about that in a second, just to kind of get how I would like to lay everything out. And now I'm just taking that same scraper, going over my letters to make sure they're adhering nicely to my wooden board. And now I am just pulling away that transfer tape, and you can see the phrase "and to all a good night" right underneath. Right here, my H was coming up. I'm going to go right back over that, scrape it down, and then I just kind of went off the other way. And I love how it turned out. These little houses are from Dollar General. I don't know if you saw my video where I did Oh Holy Night and I had the manger scene. This is that same product. It was $3 and you got 4 houses, a big tree, and those little trees right there. And I loved this set. I don't think you can beat it for $3. I left them in the natural wood, and I'm just going back with some hot glue and some fix-all glue, which you buy at the Dollar Tree. I love fix-all glue. Some people were asking me about that. It's kind of like E6000, but I think that it's not as strong a smell. I like that, and it works just as well for me. Now you can see how I'm spacing this all out. I didn't want it spaced out perfectly. I wanted like little sections, almost like little neighborhoods. And I am just going over to make sure these will stay down. So the fix-all will hold it for the long haul and the hot glue will hold it immediately. So that's why I like to mix those glues. Just try not to mix them together and just kind of put it around each other. Now, I really didn't like the star at the top of this, and plus it didn't fit on my board. So I am just taking my, what are those called? Every time. like branch cutters, let's call it branch cutters, and I'm taking my branch cutters and just cutting off the star and kind of making a point at the top of the tree. Super easy. And then whatever was left on there, I just kind of take my sandpaper and go right over that, and you can see it fits right on the board now. Now I'm using my fix-all right around the edges and then a little hot glue right down the middle. This is the perfect size for a mantle. I love that it takes up my whole mantle space, and that's why I wanted a long board, and the Cricut Joy was allowed me to make a long phrase as well. This is it. I hope you like it as much as I do. Whoa, oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, oh. La, da, da, da. Making our Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, I spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start over new, 'cause I missed you, so I'm letting go. So I just want to take a moment and tell you how much I love the Cricut Joy, because it can transform any craft into a high-end decor piece, and us crafters, you know we love that. Now that it's the holiday season, if you have a crafter in your life, I'm telling you right now, they would definitely enjoy this gift. If you are the crafter, consider getting it as a present for yourself. It will allow you to make holiday decor for your home or DIY gifts for loved ones. I can tell you that any crafter, decorator, or organizer would love to get this. It is one of the most affordable cutting machines out there. What I love about it, it's so small and lightweight. I can move it from room to room. I can hang out with my family, or you can even take it to someone's house and craft there. Also, if you don't have a large dedicated craft area, I love that. That's so easy to store away and just take out whenever you need it. What's most important to me is that it's not overwhelming. I had the Cricut Maker for a while and I didn't even take it out of the box just because it overwhelmed me so much and I was so nervous to use it. But when I got the Cricut Joy, I was able to take it right out and just use it right away. There are no buttons or dials or anything. Once you plug it in, it's ready to use, and it really walks you through it from step to step. So that's what I definitely liked about it. And then there's the Smart Vinyl, which is the total game changer. It's vinyl that can be cut without a mat, and it can cut a design up to 4 feet long. So any of those long signs, it's wonderful. And it can cut over 30 different types of materials. It can cut premium vinyl, smart vinyl, iron-ons, infusible ink sheets, and so much more. So I will end this with saying any crafter would totally love the Cricut Joy and would appreciate to receive this as a gift. And now we can move on to DIY number 2, Christmas market wreath. So the first thing I did was I went into Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to show you how I made my decal for that sign and how I made a ring around it. So I went over where the shapes are and I got a circle, and then I unlocked it so I can just change the shape of it, and I made it into a long oval. Now I made 2 of them, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one a little bit bigger, and I'm just going to layer it on top of each other, and then I'm going to select both of those and I'm going to align it horizontally and vertically, and that will make sure it's right in the middle. I'm going to slice it, and you can see I'm just taking all my pieces apart. And now I will cut and paste another one, or you could just duplicate it. And now I have 2. I'm making one a little bit bigger than the other one, and I'm just going to delete these 2 right here. And you can see I'm just now going to align them vertically and horizontally again, so they are perfect together. Now I'm going to type up Christmas, and I am going to now type up market in lowercase. Anytime I am going to use a cursive font, I like to put it in lowercase just so it flows better. And now I'm going to write Bramello here. I like that font here. So you can see as I'm making this bigger, it's kind of spaced apart a little bit. So I will show you what I do there. I just changed the Christmas font, and now I'm going to curve it. And you can see right here how I'm doing that. Super easy. And now I'm just adjusting it to fit, and I can see that I need a little bit more of a curve. And now I'm going to adjust the word market. I'm going to ungroup the letters so I can manipulate them and move them where I would like. And you can see I'm just making them all closer together. And then I'm going to group it all as one. Now, this is where I made a mistake. I should have welded it, and I'll show you later why I should have welded the word market. I'm going to group that all together, and I'm going to align it again so that everything is centered. And you can see here, I'm going to just move it down a little bit though. And now I'm deciding between these two wooden signs from Dollar Tree. I was unsure which one I was going to use, but I figured I could see once I printed out the decal what it would look like in each one of those, and then I could make my decision then. You can see I am just cutting it out of the Smart Vinyl. I don't need a mat, and I love that so much. So easy. I just put it right in, cut off what I need, and there's no waste. And now I will just weed out the vinyl I don't need. When I am taking this apart, you'll see that I made the two oval shapes much skinnier because I liked that look a little more to make it look a little more delicate. So I went back in and I made those a lot skinnier. And you can see I'm just taking off what I don't need. And I'm just going right around with the very pointed tip of that weeder, and I love that. Again, this is my favorite part. Now notice here, this is what I was talking about where I should have welded the letters. Okay, not yet. It's coming in a minute. So now I'm taking the transfer tape. This is from Cricut, and I love that it's on a long roll as well, and you can put it right on top of any long sheet, short sheet, whatever. And I'm putting it right over the top, and I'm going to press it down with my scraper, and that will make sure it's adhered a little better as I'm pulling it up. And there we go. Right here I'm seeing which one I want to put it on, kind of measuring it out in the middle, and that's what it looks like on the oval. I liked it, but my son, he's 11, he was like, Mom, I really think the other one looks like it would fit for market. And I said, yeah, I agree. I feel that shape is a good market shape. So I put it on this wooden piece here from Dollar Tree. And this is from the Crafter Square section. And I'm just taking off any of that transfer sheet left over, and there we go. And you can see that's where I should have welded it. Because of that, the letters weren't completely joined. Even though they look joined, they're not, and there was a little piece that came out. I just went over with my marker, and you can see you can't even notice it. But now I'm taking this Joann fabric greenery. You can use whatever you have, Dollar Tree, whatever. I just want to use up what I have in my house. So I am just hot gluing some of that right around the edges. That already has some pine cones in it, and I just love this greenery. But the Dollar Tree does have some really nice greenery out this year, as well as Walmart. I know that Dollar General has some great greenery out. So anywhere that you have some affordable stuff, definitely go and get that. I'm just going to hot glue this right on the back of this hoop wreath. Oh, and that hoop wreath I bought at Ross for only $2.99. You can buy hoop wreaths at any hobby store or Walmart, and they're super inexpensive. Now, this is a tip right here. I love to put different ribbons together to make it look like a larger ribbon. So I took the two greens, hot glued those together, and now I'm trying to find what ribbon I want to put down the seam. And you can see I went through so many choices, but I end up using the black ribbon with the white stitching, and I really liked the way that looked. You can see I am just hot gluing it right down the middle. Oh, and if you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel, and it tells me what kind of videos you want more of. So I'm going right down the middle with some hot glue. After I go down the length of the ribbon, I'm going to do the same thing with a smaller ribbon, and that's going to hide that seam, but it's also going to give it more interest. And I love layering ribbons. I know if you've been watching my channel, you know I layer ribbons all the time. I just so love the look of that. So now I am just taking that ribbon and wrapping it right underneath, right through where that sign is, and I'm going to hot glue it onto that wooden piece from the hoop. And you can see how I'm doing this, and I'm just pulling it up. Now I wanted to put something in the center here, but I didn't want a big bow. So I was kind of going back and forth with some options. So I'm just kind of gluing it over, and I'm putting any leftover greenery I can slide in there to make it nice and full. You can go as far down on that hoop as you want. I just liked the top done. That's just how I wanted it. Now I'm taking these bells. Now these bells I got at a yard sale for $1, and I just loved how substantial they are, and so I bought them. But you can get bells at Dollar Tree, Walmart, anywhere, but these are what I had on hand, and that's what I'm using. I'm hot gluing them to the wreath, but I'm also hot gluing them together, and that will really hold them in place. You can use an E6000 or anything like that, but I was okay with the hot glue. It held just fine for me. Now I'm taking these white berries from Dollar Tree, and I'm just kind of putting them in throughout those bells wherever I see fit. And that's it. This is done. I hope you like it as much as I do.
Hold up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling.
And now we're moving on to DIY number 3, premium reindeer feed galvanized canister. So the first thing I did was I went in Cricut Design Space, and I found this really cool decal that was already made, and I thought it was so cute. However, I wanted it in an oval, so this is how I'm going to do it. First thing I did was I went into shapes again, got my circle, and I unlocked it so I can make it into the oval I wanted. And now I will just layer these so that I can align them, and I can see how big I want that oval to be. So once I align them, I go vertically and horizontally, but then I kind of didn't like where it was placed, so I end up moving it myself anyway, and you can see it's a little low for me, so I moved it up so it would be kind of where I wanted it. And now I'm going to select both of those, and I'm going to slice and just take everything out. And you can see I'm just going to delete these two. And now I am left with the cutout of the decal inside of the oval the way I wanted it. So now I'm taking this Cricut Joy Smart Vinyl and putting it in my machine, letting it do its work. So now I can just weed it out. So now I'm weeding it the opposite way. Before I would weed out all around the lettering and whatever pictures I have on there, but I am keeping the oval and taking out the lettering and the picture of the deer. And when you weed the opposite way, just be careful that when you're taking out the lettering, you see how I lost that middle of the D? I just had to make sure I had to grab that before I would throw it away with the rest of the scrap vinyl. So this holiday season, I am so excited to use my Cricut Joy to decorate with. You can see I'm making signs with it and wreath hangers, but also like ornaments, or if I want to customize my stockings. But I also thought about gift giving. It's such an affordable way to give gifts. Oh, real quick, this canister I got for $3 at a yard sale. Yes, yard sales, yard sales, yard sales. Love them. And it's so cute. It even has a lid that comes off. But personalizing gifts for people in your lives, I know like you have the family members and all of that, but what about all those people like the teachers and mail carriers and just people in your community that during this crazy time right now, I think any small kind sentiment could mean so much to someone. And I just say kindness, spread kindness wherever you can, and it will make such a difference in people's lives. And I truly, truly mean that. So I'm just taking this Dollar Tree pick, and I am going to not glue it on, but I'm going to kind of just put it in this handle area, and it's stuck in there really nice and tightly, so I didn't need to glue on here. And now I'm just taking this ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby last year, and I'm just wrapping it right around, and I'm going to glue it to itself, not so much the steel. And I'm going to just make a simple bow like you do when you tie your shoes. I didn't want anything too froofy because This is reindeer feet, and no one puts froofy bows on reindeer feet. So now I'm just cutting off the ends of the tails at a diagonal, and then I'm just going to take this simple bow and just hot glue it right to the ribbon that's at the top, right up there. And this is done. I hope you like this as much as I do.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo, Gloria in excelsis Deo.
We have made it to the last DIY number 4, rustic deer pillows. So the first thing I did was I took this Smart Vinyl iron-on, and I loved the color of this. It's the red and black checkers, and I went into Design Space and I just found an image that was already there. It was a deer and it said, "Oh dear," and I found a deer head that was already there, and I am just using those. But make sure when you put in your vinyl, you put shiny side down, and you want to mirror your image. Anytime you're doing any type of iron-on, shiny side down and mirror your image. Those are the 2 rules. And here's the deer head that I chose. There were like so many to choose from, but this was the one I thought would look really nice on a pillow. And I'm just weeding out what I don't want. And I really liked it on that buffalo print. I don't know, it just gave me that cabin feel. I just really like it. And before I put it on my pillow, I go onto the Cricut heat guide. You can just put in whatever type of material you're using, and it tells you what temperature, how many seconds, what supplies you need, how to prep your space, what kind of application you're going to do, and it even tells you like how to care for the material. So it is super informative. So now I'm just taking this heat resistant tape that's from Cricut, and that helps me that my decal won't move all around, and I put it on for the allotted time that it says and at the certain temperature it says, and then I turn it over and do the back, and then I carefully pull it off once it's cool. And look how cool that is. Now the pillows I used, I had a different idea. It didn't work out. So these pillows I had in my stash, I just opened the seam at the bottom and I took out the stuffing so I could put the decals on, and that was it. And now I'm going to restuff them and just hot glue the bottom back up. But again, you can use any pillows you have in the house, or just buy any pillowcases, or you could even use, you know, from the Dollar Tree, how we make our own pillows using table mats, things like that, or towels from the Dollar Tree. You can make your own, and it could look so cute and so high-end by just using the decals and ribbons and things like that. And it's so fun to make. So now I'm just kind of spicing up this pillow a little bit. So I'm using that same ribbon you saw before. These black ribbons all came in one container. You can see it right there at the top of your screen. There's about 5 in there, and there's the black ribbon with the stitching. We have the checkered ribbon. We have the plain silky black ribbon, this thin ribbon. There's so many in there, and I use it all the time, but it's coming down to the end for most of those. I do need to go get other ones. This was at Hobby Lobby, $9.99, but don't forget to use your coupon to get it half off, or 40%, or half off. Or whatever. So once I hot glue on those ribbons, I am just taking this fluff that was originally inside that pillow and I put it back in, and now I am just pinching those together where the hot glue is. So the other day I went out shopping for some holiday pillows for Christmas, and I cannot even tell you how expensive they were. And I don't like to spend a lot of money on Christmas pillows just because you only leave them out for a month or two. And I don't know, I just would rather make my own for much cheaper. Oh, this is a little tip for you. That's how I make my rolls of ribbon not fly all over the place. I just put a little hot glue right on the outside of the cardboard, and then I stick it to it. It just works out like a charm. And now I'm taking this ribbon and reversing the way I'm putting on my stripes. I am now putting the ribbon vertically rather than horizontally. This polka dot ribbon was also in that same ribbon pack, and it's so cute next to the stitched ribbon. I just think that looks really cute together. And again, using the same stuffing that was in this pillow. These pillows were in like one of those sets where you get like, you know, 10 pieces in a comforter set. So I wasn't even using them. So I thought I'd put them to good use. Just hot glue the bottom and these are done. I hope you like this as much as I do.
Well, I'm all for Christmas, all the happy smiles and the wishes, and I want it all from the lights to the mistletoe. Tell me one thing, is there anything that you're missing? I will keep you warm as soon as you remove.
And here we are at the final reveal, my favorite part of the video, because we get to recap everything we just made. So the first thing we made was this amazing sign that says, "And to all a good night." Super, super cheap to make. I got the wood for $1. Those little houses were $3, and then my vinyl, and that's it. I mean, so cheap and so amazing. Then we have the hoop wreath. I love this as well, with the Christmas market sign at the top. It just makes it so nice when you can personalize your crafts, and it's so simple but so pretty. Then we have the premium reindeer feed, and I just love the way that turned out. Again, that little canister, $3. You can't beat it. And the Dollar Tree pick, a bow, and you're good to go. Next, we have the pillows. These were pillows I already had in my house that I was not using. I was able to personalize them with the deer motif, and I love how woodsy these are. So tell me, which one of these is your favorite? I'm gonna go with the goodnight sign. I love this so much. I just love the way it looks, and it looks amazing on my mantle. You tell me which one is yours. And I want to thank Cricut again for sponsoring this video. If you want to check out any of their products, I will leave links in the description box below. Thanks, guys. So that's it. That's the end of my video. I hope you liked everything you saw today, and I hope it inspires you to make something of your own. If you have not checked me out at Instagram over at Cat Luna Designs, I would love if you did. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. It really helps my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye! If you'd like to know what supplies I've used, check out the description box. What am I saying? If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. That's a little late for the thumbs up. Check out the description box below. And with all that being said, let's get rid of... Let's do that part again. And if you haven't subscribed already, I would love if you did. And as... Did I say that already? So that's it. That's the end of my video. I hope you liked everything you saw here today. And I hope... If you haven't subscribed... Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just subscribe. Yeah, just do it. And as always... sounds so dumb.